Okay, I just came back from Harlem Shambles butcher shop. And if you don't know what the word shamble means, it means destruction. It's an archaic term used for a butcher shop, sort of like an abattoir. Okay, we'll get some nice looking bones here. Huge. I had the butcher cut these in half lengthwise, and that's going to make a very presentable presentation. I'm going to be roasting these off. These I'm going to freeze. There's no way I could use all this. Okay, what I have to do now is soak it in a bath of water and salt. And what that does is going to it's going to pull the blood out of the marrow. This is how it's done. Okay folks, I have a container here. Water. I'm going to be adding about 2 teaspoons of salt to make a brine solution. And like I said, this will pull the blood out of the marrow. This has to soak overnight. Okay. This is going to soak 24 hours, and then tomorrow I'm going to be roasting them off. Okay folks, it's Chef Kevin. What I'm making tonight is roasted beef bone. This is a truly decadent meal. It's just going to blow you away. That was the blow you away sound. Okay, I bought these beef shin bones from a local butcher, and they've been soaking for 24 hours in a brining solution. And let's come in closer here because you got to see this. The bones have been soaking, like I said, in saltwater solution, and that brings out the blood. Sorry, I don't have my editing department here. Okay, as you can see, there's a lot of blood in the container, and there was no blood there previously. Okay, these are beef shin bones from the legs of the beef, and I had them cut lengthwise as opposed to cutting them vertically. And the reason I did that is because it's easier to take the marrow out when it's lengthwise as opposed to the short way. It's much easier to take it out, and it's also, I think, a much better presentation as well. Okay, I left the meat on the sides, on the outsides. I didn't scrape it off. This is supposed to be rustic. Yes, maybe rustic is lazy, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So, what I am going to do is I'm going to dry these off with paper towels, coat them with salt, pepper, and fresh garlic. Roast them in the oven for about 15 minutes or so at 350 degrees, and then take them out and plate it. I mean, this is very simple food. It's very inexpensive food because there's really not much you can do with these other than make soup. But if you've ever had these roasted, it's quite delectable. Okay, so let's get right into this, folks. And if you could give me a thumbs up or thumbs down on my new mustache, I'd appreciate it. It is a mustache, not a beard. Okay, folks, I got my easy bake oven preheating to 350 degrees. I'm just going to season these bones very easily. Little sea salt, a little coarse ground pepper, salt and pepper are the two most commonly used spices in the world. Guts to have it. And I have some fresh chopped garlic here. Garlic is probably one of the most widely used herbs in the world, except not in German cooking. I'm half German, by the way. My mother never cooked with garlic. My father did, he was Italian. Okay. Enough of my ancestry. Okay, these are looking good. Okay. What I'm going to do is, now I'm just going to spray oil the top so the garlic doesn't burn. Okay, I'm going to pop these into the oven, 350 for 10 minutes, and I'll check it. If I think it needs to go longer, I'll go longer. Don't go nowhere. Okay, folks, the bones are roasting away slowly. I'm going to go ahead and prepare my garnish. Now, garnish is very important in any meal because garnish is something that makes the food look good. And it also complements the taste of the food. So garnish is very important. So the garnish I'm making for these roasted beef bones is a combination of fresh parsley, capers, juice of a lemon, and a little red onion. And I chose this combination because parsley is very fragrant, it's very lively, tastes good. The onion will add a little bit of a bitterness to the bones because the bones are going to be on the greasy side. So I don't want to make you know, too greasy. I want to cut the grease. The lemon will help cut the grease with the parsley and the onions, and the capers, well, that'll add another level. These are salted capers, but I'm going to rinse them off because there's enough salt on the beef bones. I'm not going to add any more salt or pepper in this dish. Okay, what I'm going to be using as a tool is a Oaxaca or a mortar and pestle. Now I like to use this because instead of just chopping, you can grind away and you let out a lot more of the oils and the flavor that are in the vegetables, and you can make a real nice pasty garnish with this. So as this cooks, I'm going to go ahead and proceed to do that. Okay, folks, I have my Oaxaca here, and I'm going to grind away. I use a small amount of parsley, a small amount of onion, about a half dozen capers, and a small amount of parsley. And these are all very intense flavors here, so I don't want to use a lot. Did you know the Oaxaca was perhaps the first food processor? This was made 2,000 years ago, or even more, and it's still used today. It does require some work though, I'll tell you that. Okay, I'm going to keep pounding away at this. I'm going to make it a nice paste and put that right on top of those bones. Don't go nowhere. Okay folks, I just took these out of the oven after 30 minutes of cooking time. It took me a little longer than anticipated. As you can see, they're quite roasted off. The garlic is not burnt. And I can take a fork and press it into the marrow and realize it's very soft, it's very cooked out. This is looking very good. I'm very hungry. So I'm gonna keep these warm. I'm gonna keep these at 170 degrees. I have a couple of errands to do. I gotta take the dogs out, this and that, and then I'm gonna come back and plate it for you. Yes, madam, your roasted bones are ready. Garnish them up nicely for you. I hope you're not on a diet. I'm serving this with a bagel. That's to sop up the grease and all the flavor. And tell me how you think you would like this video. There is like hardly any meat on these bones, but the taste is just so intense. Who would have thought? That is just so wonderful, folks. Thanks for watching.